Let's just like dive in, shall
Okay.
we?
Yeah, let's do it.
I have gotten used to how dramatic these trailers are,
Me too.
but this one felt it more so like more intense than usual.
I don't know if I agree because I don't think anything can beat the legal drama of Jen Shah. But
Do you think that's why they tried to make it so dramatic?
I think they're
'Cause they have-
always, yes, they always have to like hype up. Like I've gotten used to how dramatic these trailers are, so I'm skeptical now.
Yeah, you're right. They're like very formulaic.
Yeah, like there's a few things, like I will say there are a few things in that trailer that I was like, this is going to be a 1-episode drama. But they're like drawing it out and like making it seem huge for the trailer.
I feel like you have PTSD from last season.
Maybe I do.
They spent like 4 days in San Diego, but it was only like 1 day. And you're like, this is all going to take place in like, I don't know, Heather's veranda.
Exactly. Yeah, they burned me. So I'm very skeptical now. I'm very wary.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's save that for the end of whether we're going to like actually continue with this season. All right. Welcome to a special bonus episode of Disengaging. I'm Julia Ritchie.
I'm Nicole Nixon.
I'm now in Savannah. Was in Nashville previously. No Housewives franchises in Savannah, unfortunately. Although there was a great episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta where they did a girls trip in Savannah, and I highly recommend it.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out. How far is
really
Savannah from Atlanta?
Like 3.5, 3 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Like 3.5. Yeah, not too bad. It is sweltering, it is hot, and it is the perfect time to discuss a piping hot new trailer from the Bravo universe for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 4. So I think we were gonna highlight like what were like a couple things that jumped out. So I'll start with Mary Cosby is back as maybe not a full-time cast member because she's not in the cast photo, but is featured very predominantly in the trailer, insulting pretty much everyone.
Nothing's changed.
What are your thoughts on the return of Mary?
I did not catch that she was not in the cast photo, so good catch. She'll just be a guest star, I guess.
I don't know how I feel about like now that she doesn't care to be a Real Housewife and she has made her disdain known for every single person on that show. I don't know how I feel about just having her on to like throw these like verbal grenades at folks, like calling Heather inbred as she does at the end of the trailer, which is
again, didn't she do that in one of the previous seasons?
See, I thought she did. And then Heather goes, do you think I look inbred? And she goes, I do. Was that from the earlier season or was that a new call?
I think she called her inbred in an earlier season. And she called her chubby
weird that
too.
They're either reenacting that.
Yeah. Or they haven't gotten over it. Yeah. They're like relitigating these fights, which is annoying. But yeah.
That is what they do.
Yeah. I feel like they did
litigation.
I can't hold bringing Mary back against the producers because I feel like people wanted it. People missed Mary because she had great one-liners. I struggled with Mary because she was mean. She was just very mean-spirited, and I didn't like
very
that.
mean.
But
yeah, there's nothing funny about her. Her like there's no, what do they say? There's no hate like Christian love. Like she epitomizes that, leading a congregation and like all the allegations that have circulated around that. I am like a little leery of her coming back. As funny as she is because of her eccentricity, I guess you could say, she's also, like you said, extremely trolly.
Yeah.
She's just a huge troll. But I guess without Jen Shah, they needed someone to come in and throw some spicy one-liners.
Right. Because if they don't have somebody like Jen or Mary, all the other housewives in this season are just very passive aggressive, and that's a very Mormon thing,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's like there's the drama with passive aggressiveness is not as like titillating as having someone say that you smell like hospital. So I'm gonna say cheers to Mary Cosby.
Cheers for making a comeback. I have to say my biggest surprise from that trailer was that Lisa Barlow's son, Jack, is going on a mission. That surprised me a lot.
And that they're using it as a plot device, which feels, it's gonna, we talked about bringing kids into the show and how icky that feels. And I know that the religion plays such a central role in the show that it is an interesting thing, though, because they've always made her sort of religion sort of a backseat issue for the rest of the housewives, and it seems like they're going to try to front load that now with like her and Heather having never liked each other, now even more at odds over this, because I think Heather served a mission, right?
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah,
but now she's not, and like Heather's kids don't seem like they're really involved in church, and I never got the sense, Lisa says she's like a
Mormon 2.0.
Yeah, Mormon 2.0, but they don't go to church every Sunday, so to hear that
they literally run a tequila company. That's what got me. I was like, your whole like family's business is alcohol, which is prohibited under the tenets of your faith, and now your son is going on a mission.
Totally.
I think I'm mostly looking forward to just figuring out where they send them, because they always end up in some interesting country, like Tahiti or someplace you're like, I didn't know that they had missionaries.
Exactly. I know. I wonder if they'll reveal that, or if for privacy they won't. I'm also surprised that he chose to go on a mission. And by the way, he's left. I like looked up his Instagram. He had a farewell post and everything. So
no,
he's gone. Where he went? I think no, he didn't say where he was going.
Okay. Yeah,
although maybe I don't know. You never know. He could be just taking a little social media break. Just kidding. He probably is on a mission, but this is the kid who was like, fudge college, man. I'm going to serve a mission instead.
Classic. Okay. Third thing that I found, I don't know if I would say surprising. Angie K is back, and I think I assumed she'd be, but they replaced Danica, right?
Dana.
Oops, it's been too long. With this other woman named Monica, I believe.
Danica, Monica.
Yeah. Monica Garcia is the new housewife. I guess I was a little bit like, I felt like I liked Dana more than Angie K.
I did too.
And I was surprised because everyone was speculating about Angie Harrington wanting to be a housewife, and she did not get picked up. So Angie K, I feel like earned her keep. So
I guess so.
I get kudos to her, I guess.
Angie K. I wonder if we'll see two things. I wonder if we'll see Angie Harrington at all at parties and things like that. Because she had some cameos before. And this Monica girl, it has the hots for everyone's husband, just based on the trailer. So that sounds like some fun drama.
And she was excommunicated, which we should say is much different than how Heather and Whitney have left the church. So like they left the church on their own volition, more or less. Obviously there is a little bit of that like distancing that they felt pushed out, but this woman was actually kicked out, which is I think like that's going to cause some trauma, right? Like whether or not she's hitting on everyone's husband, that's like, she's clearly like going through some sort of like midlife crisis.
Totally. I'm intrigued and can't wait to learn more about Miss Monica and her lip injections.
Lisa and Meredith are still fighting. I'm a little tired of that dynamic. But it does seem that with Lisa sort of like taking the center of the cast photo, that she's assuming I think, the Jen Shaw role of like
Mm-hmm.
chief antagonizer in some ways, of like, she can never do any wrong. People are always picking fights with her, regardless of whether she's the reason why.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Lisa really came into her own last season, and we'll see her defending that kind of title this season, it seems like.
yes. Other thing I'm not interested in, I know we're like supposed to say things we're interested in. I'm not interested in Whitney's husband and her marriage.
I'm not either. I think that was the thing that I was like, this is going to be a 1-episode drama where, you know, they go through a
like,
rough patch, but it's like 2 seconds.
Might be a nice man, but just not very attractive, and certainly not compared to some of the other housewives husbands on the show. And he's not going to leave someone who has like a Bravo paycheck coming in. I'm sorry.
I
The
wonder.
math doesn't add up.
Exactly. This is purely for the plot. That's what I think.
Oh yeah. I guess maybe that's it. Is when I watched the trailer, I felt like there was like a lot more acting. Did you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did feel that.
And so that makes me like worry that they've been coached.
I wonder when that starts to happen. I like, because that definitely happens with reality shows. Like, not everything is real. But
well, and especially as the seasons go on, it's like, why are we getting these people who hate each other together? And it's like, like we were actually discussing this in the last season, is like, they do like a horseback riding weird like thing, and a pubsicle, and like it's like the things that they're forcing themselves to do together are more and more like outlandish, because you wouldn't expect someone of their like status or like social level to like want to do those things, but they do them for the show. So I don't remember if there were any like hints at activities that they will be partaking in this
it
season.
looked like possibly a drag queen fashion show. Like, some of them were in weird outfits.
Yeah.
And then there's a pirate night.
Okay, you're right. So like, yeah, there was a couple of costume things. Okay, there was pirates, and then what was the other one? They had like the bonnets. That was the other one.
Oh, the bonnets. Did they do like a pioneer like trek thing?
Yeah. So speaking of activities, you mentioned pirates, but the bonnets was the one that was like, I might tune in only for that episode because they look ridiculous. So obviously not everyone understands, but like Utah has a real hard on for pioneers.
Yeah.
Because when Brigham Young and Joseph Smith walked across the United States and landed in Utah, it was like they were dressed like Oregon Trail style bonnets, pioneer style.
They still do this. Like, this was a tradition.
The reenactments.
And I did it, but thankfully we were not forced to wear the clothes. But youth in the LDS church every summer will go on a trek, and it's like pioneer cosplay. And thankfully when I did it, it was fine, and we could wear jeans and like bring toiletries and eat normal food. But they told my friends they couldn't bring like deodorant or like anything like modern.
Are they going to make the housewives do a trek, you think?
So I wonder if I don't know. Maybe they like went through and like borrowed some of Heather's daughter's like trek outfits, or I'm so curious what those bonnets are. I have to know.
Yeah. Well, that's a good place to conclude then, which is, are you feeling like you're ready to come back to another season? I think I could definitely do it like casually if I didn't have to like recap every episode like we did last season, which was exhausting because of Jen's legal issues. But
that's true.
Do you feel like there is enough cast chemistry based on this trailer to, last I don't know, was it like 13, 14 episodes?
Ooh, I was going to say yes, I could watch for an hour every Sunday, low stakes. And then you said 13, 14
Mhm.
episodes. And I was like, I don't know. So I guess we'll take it when
Wasn't
we
that
get a
how
time.
many there were last time? Like there were a lot.
Probably
right?
there were
How
a
many?
lot.
Well, I think we
TBD.
should check back in on our Real Housewives friends and yeah, give them the benefit of the doubt, couple episodes, and tell everyone what we think when they return.
Sounds good to me. I'm down for that. Cheers.
Cheers, baby gorgeous.